Hi everyone, it's Miss Kate.
And Miss Hazel here too.
Today we're doing a multimedia piece. It's painting, but we're also using some ink. So I'll show you the finished product of what I did. It was a still life. So I looked at a pear and an apple together on a table plus a vase of flowers. And that's what we're going to paint. So we're starting off with this black ink and a paintbrush. So I put it into this little container to make it easier. I'm using a pointy brush because I want to have a nice thin line. I'm not looking at my still life anymore. I'm actually going to look at this. But using, and because I'm left-handed, I always have to tell people, I'm starting way over on my right side because then I can move this way without smearing my ink because the ink smears very quickly. A pencil?
Yes, maybe people might want to draw.
Oh yeah, we
first.
could. Miss Hazel thinks that we should draw first. We could draw first. So I'm
You're
going to draw my outline.
Artist, Miss Kate.
So I'll just draw like a kind of an outline. We'll go over it in the ink in a sec. It could be anything. So when I just did this vase, I don't know if you can see. Oh no, I didn't do it very evenly though. I started off. So I'm going to show you on this one. I started off with two parallel lines going down this way, and then I curved around, and then two more parallel lines going down, and not quite a straight line across the bottom. A little bit of a curvy line there. So let's do it in pencil first. Miss Hazel, you're always thinking of everything. When I did the top of the vase, do you see how it's a little bit curvy there too? Because you know, like a vase has that round top, but when you kind of look at it, it looks a little bit like it's curvy. And then I will draw an apple. And it's apple-ish. It's not exactly an apple, as you know, because we're all about the ish here. And then I'm going to add a pear sitting next to it because I do love pears.
They're pretty tasty.
Yeah. And then I wanted them to sit on the table, not to just float in the air. So I added that. And then some sort of sticks coming out for my flowers, which I'll add on at the end. I know it's hard to see this pencil, but that's how I got going with it. And then later, without using a pencil, because I remember that I did this too. Once I was done doing this, I was having so much fun with the ink, I added stripes to the wall. Maybe it's wallpaper. I don't really know. That's what I did though on there. So now I'm going to take my ink, I'm going to dip it back in again, and then carefully just go a little bit on the side there. I'm going to do it this direction, so hopefully you can see it. But now I have to start over on this side because of the left-handed thing. So I'm just going to go over my pencil lines like this. And I had the pear sort of leaning up against the apple. But again, you can draw whatever you want to do on yours. That's the nice thing. We always say that nice thing about being an artist is that really you can paint whatever you want. You do not need to do what we're doing. I'll add some stems.
Painting with the ink is really nice too, isn't it?
Oh, it feels so good when it's on the paper. I don't know why exactly. It just glides so well. And I'm using the paintbrush a little bit like a pencil. See, I'm holding it like this.
Well, in olden times, isn't that how people used to write? Their pen, they would dip it in.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it'd be fun. Oh, I went somewhere and I learned how to make feather, wait, what are they called?
Quill?
Quill. I learned how to make a quill from this really nice lady. I've never actually done it. I just learned how to do it. I bought all the feathers. I bought everything to do it, and I never did it.
Oh,
It is actually a feather.
maybe you could teach us sometime, Miss Kate.
That would be fun. I'm going to have to go remember how to do it. But I really liked it. She was signing her books down in Stanford. Okay, so now I've got this far, and I could stop if I wanted to, but I also wanted to add, because it's fun, some shadows on the apple and the pear. So I'm just using the ink to sort of add some shadowy lines here. And I'll do the same over here. If you look at something and you see where the light casts a shadow on it, you'll see that that's sort of what we're going after here. And really, again, just because it's kind of fun. Then I told you that I was wanting to add some detail. So like a little bit of, like maybe the tablecloth is a little bit wrinkly. So I'll add some here. And then because I like to use this ink I am now going to draw the lines. They are not perfectly straight. And I don't want you to worry about that. If you actually look closely to mine, you would see that they are not straight at all.
You're just doing your best.
Yeah, and plus it's just, like I said, it's just fun to use this ink. You could do this with, it doesn't have to be ink. If you don't have any ink at home but you want to do something like this, you could use black paint with it. Just the thin lines, using a thin brush. This is probably, it doesn't have it on here. It's probably a number 2 pointy if you have numbers on your brushes. This doesn't have any numbers on it though. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna let that dry. And then surprisingly enough, I have one that's already dry. So we're gonna paint that. You could paint it with any kind of paint you wanted to. If you wanted to do watercolor on this, you could do that. I am using actually watercolor paper, but you could use anything you want because, again, you are the artist. So I'm going to take, I have sort of this really light green here, but I'm going to mix a little bit of yellow in it too to see if that looks more like a pear. Didn't actually plan that out very well. And I'm going to add in, it's pearish enough, I think. I think if someone saw this, they would know automatically it was a pear. I'm going to just fill in that space there, and I'll add in some red, and I'll just keep going. This is another one of those things you could just take your time, do your black outlines, come back later, add some paint to it. Like I said, you could do watercolor, you could do acrylic, you could use tempera, kind of whatever you feel like you want to use or whatever you have at your house. So already, there's my pear, and I may come back later and add a little bit of shadow to that, add more shadow than it already has. Same with my, not that one. Where's my red one? Oh my gosh, I'm having a little trouble with my paintbrushes here. The same thing will happen with my red. I'm going to get it red because I do want kind of a candy apple red apple, but later I'm going to come back after the red is dried and add some yellow and some orange to it to make it look a little bit more realistic. And that is using ink and paint in a painting. It's very fun. I'm going to just keep working on this. So remember, if you've made something like this in anything, if you're using ink and paint, would you have someone take a picture of it and send it to us through Instagram? You just hashtag Alameda Arts Fun, and Miss Hazel and I will be sure to find it. Yeah. And if you like our video, you know there are more. You can subscribe right below here and keep seeing every time we put out a new video, you'll know it's coming. Okay, I'm going to keep working. We'll see you later, okay? Bye.
Bye, friends.